All right, there's our giant pora, green tree python, looking very beautiful. Look at those blues it has in it. That's a really, really nice looking green tree python. What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily. It's raining here in Cape Coral, Florida. The sun's coming down, but Pablo's feeding today. We got to catch up on 3 weeks of very sparse feeding since when he was gone. We didn't really want to feed too much, and the snakes are very hungry. I'll tell you one thing: if you want to get your snakes to eat and they're not eating, don't feed them for 3 weeks. They'll be ready to take your hand off when you start feeding them again. And so, yeah, we're going to be getting those ball pythons all juiced up, ready for the breeding season. And the boas will probably be getting only a couple more meals before I cut them off around December 1st. So I want to get at least 3 more feedings in for that. And I don't mind starting the boa breeding season a little later than normal. Last year we started a little earlier, but that's okay. You know, it's been hot here still, so there's nothing wrong with that. This rain today is good because it kind of cooled things down a little bit, but the way Florida works is tomorrow it'll be super hot again. It'll be 87. That's just the way it works here. My air conditioning is still cranking. All right, let's go into the snake room. Let's take a look and see what we got. I'm gonna show you a little of this, a little of that, some ball python cool stuff, some boa, some stuff. You never know what else might strike my fancy. Stay tuned. All right, there's our giant pora, green tree python, looking very beautiful. Look at those blues it has in it. That's a really, really nice looking green tree python. Just ate a nice medium rat. We only feed her probably every 2 to 3 weeks, and this is the biggest prey item I'd seen her eat. So she's going to probably sit there and digest for quite a while. And if I only had a male. Our male Aru died a couple weeks ago, and I just picked her up recently in a trade, and then I have 2 other females, so I have all females green tree pythons. I don't have any male breeders. We're gonna have to see if I can pick one up at some point. So that was our giant pora. This is our Aru. She's a little smaller. She actually didn't eat today. I think she's in the shed. Yeah, you can see her eyes. She'll probably eat next week. She's got some nice blues in her too, but it's hard to really get her true colors right now because she is in the shed, but they just don't want to be bothered too much when they're in the shed, so we'll leave her alone. We now have our misting system on this cage and on all the green tree python cages for that matter. And as you can see, it's staying nice and moist in here, and the humidity is way higher than it was, so hopefully these snakes are going to be doing a lot better now with this extra humidity that's constantly being pumped in here. And that's our little grow-up Aru. Turned out to be a female. I was like, oh, I hope she's a female. I hope she's a female. And then just recently, now that we lost that male, I was like, man, I wish she would have been a male. But she's still on the smaller side, but she's been putting some good size on. She's probably my best eater. And we're continuing to grow her up. We're going to be moving her into a bigger enclosure pretty soon, even though she's doing pretty well in this little enclosure. But I might move one of my Amazon tree boas into this enclosure here. Move her up to one of the bigger focus cube cages over here. We have that bottom cage open, so I might put her in that and take her out of this, even though she's been doing really well in here. I think she's doing well in here because we can really keep the humidity nice and high in this cage. But she's really nice. So we have 3 really beautiful green tree pythons. I just have to, like I said, I got to find another male because I don't know why our male, he just stopped eating. That was it. Once they stop eating, you're done. It's hard to get them to start up again. All right, here's our corn snakes. They just ate medium, or I should say small rats, which is the first time I think we've fed them rats. This is our blood red pied-sided female. I showed you the male the other day actually, but she's got some pretty nice size in her. She just ate, she's basking in there and trying to digest, so we're not going to bother her too much. And then we have our Tessera, blood red, albino as well. She just ate a nice small rat. It's funny, they're really, you know, corn snakes are kind of skittishy. They move around real fast, but when they eat, they just want to kind of just lay there digest. And hopefully you can see how beautiful this snake is. I really want to get her to breed this year. I think we have a very good chance of it. She's old enough, and now she's eating some rats. Probably if we pound her a couple more times this year with some medium rats, or I should say some small rats, we should probably get her up to size. And let's see. And this is our palmetto corn snake. Let's see, where is she? She's probably hiding some of this here. Oh, there she is. She's under the water bowl. One of my favorite snakes in the whole collection. I love the palmetto corns. Their pattern is just unbelievably cool. There she is. I don't think she ate. No, maybe she did eat one. Amazing. These snakes, they get small heads, but they can get down a lot bigger prey at them than you might suspect. Look at that, what a beauty. All right, here's a nice little clutch that we produced in April. I'm going to show this one to you, see how the babies are doing. I haven't even looked at them in a while. This was an ultramel het clown male. Ultramel is the T positive albino. It's het for clown. And it was bred to a super OD, super orange dream, fire, spider, krypton, which is an allele, a combination between clown and ultramel. And this is an orange dream clown, obviously. It's 100% het ultramel. So really nice looking, very, very clean looking clown, but very powerful in that it's got its het for ultramel as well. And ultramel clowns are just off the charts. So the fact that we got orange dream in it too is really helpful, I think. And this male will definitely probably stay here in the collection. Now this one came out pretty good too. This is a spider orange dream ultramel. So we hit the ultramel and it's a krypton, which means we got one copy of clown here and one copy of cryptic. So we really hit the double recessive here. This is not an ultramel clown, it's an ultramel krypton. So it's got one copy of clown in here, but you can see it's visual because you see this right behind the ear, that big ear stripe right there. That's the krypton, which looks very similar to cryptic. Obviously the spider reduces pattern and color a lot, so you're not going to get the prototypical krypton looking snake you normally would be used to. I've seen a lot of these because I have spider in this whole gene pool that I've been breeding together for many years now. And I actually like the way it looks. It's very reduced pattern. The ultramel and the krypton work really well together, and then of course the orange dream lightens it up and the spider reduces pattern. So this is a very powerful female. She'll probably stay here as well, so we can produce more kryptons, more ultramel clowns stuff, hopefully super orange dream ultramel clown stuff. I mean, that's the goal here. And like I said, I don't want a million spiders in my collection, but I like spider. I do like it. I know some people don't breed it or don't work with it. I still do. I have it in my collection. I don't have a lot of them, but I still use them, and I think that they're cool with the right combinations. Here's a little bit more cool ball pythons that we're taking a look at. Clutches. This is from last year, so she's a year old, this girl. This is a super pastel, high intensity orange dream clown. A lot of highlighting in here. Super pastel kind of, waters down or, erases some of the pattern, but you can see in the dorsal striping right here, the high intensity orange dream just popping through because it's like radioactive looking almost. And this girl's a little high strung, but she's just doesn't look like any typical clown. And this is, once again, she's like over a year old and she's only getting better, and that's the high intensity orange dream doing that. Usually, ball pythons will fade as they get older, but the high intensity and the orange dream, for that matter, seems to always get better. Ozzy was the first person to point that out, and he is not wrong. This girl has just gotten better and better and better. And here's a high intensity orange dream clown, and let's see if we can take a look at her. She looks completely different. She's very reduced pattern. See this girl. I almost think that there's something else in here. I'm trying to look and see what else was in the breeding. But she's really nice. Look at that. She almost looks like she's Blade or something like that. These are just some females I held back just because I thought they were really cool looking. Most of the clutches are sold. I just kind of hold back the nice females a lot of times just to grow up. So I have some new clown breeder females, and there's always a possibility I might sell these girls. Oh, this is actually a boy. This is a male. Must have held him back because he was so nice looking. But you can see how clean he is, and look at the dorsal striping, that how it's kind of like radioactive looking. That's that high intensity gene. Really nice. Here's a Disco Inferno, which is a disco gene with the fire gene. They're allelic to each other. They produce this axe-like superform. It almost looks like a pied. We've seen this before. This has also got pinstripe, which kind of erases all pattern in these snakes. And then there's a possibility that there's a high-intensity orange dream. At least there's one copy of Orange Dream here, and this is a visual clown. So this is a pinstripe Disco Inferno Orange Dream clown. The question of whether it's high-intensity Orange Dream or not is questionable. You can see the typical clown black eyes, and this female I produced this past September, and we've been just growing her up. I had been trying to hit a Disco Inferno clown for quite a while, and it looks like a clown pied, and I think that's what makes this so appealing. So I'll probably just keep her, grow her up, you know, breed her to something like fire clown in it, and try to produce some more of these guys. Get more orange, maybe get some more Orange Dream, maybe get a super Orange Dream version of this. I wouldn't mind getting leopard in here as well. That can only help. But this female's really nice. All right, we'll wrap up with a couple little quick boa videos here. This is our Sun Glow Sterling. Sterling is a recessive trait that takes away all pattern in boas. This is Sun Glow is the hypo gene combined with the albino. This is a Call albino, so this is a Call Sun Glow Sterling. I have two sisters here for sale. I'm surprised they're actually still, I keep saying this every time I film them, but they're still for sale. And they're actually beautiful patternless boa. If you're into patternless boas, this albino patternless she's 2 years old. She's got some nice size in her, and she'll be a breeder within a year or two probably. So we got her, and we have her sister, and then I have another sister that I actually have as a holdback. So this one's, they're all looking for food because Pablo's gone for 3 weeks. The boas I kind of gave off for those 3 weeks. We fed them 3 weeks in a row, and then we get them off, so they're ready to eat this week, and they're looking for food. So probably not a good idea to keep your hands too close to them. But they're sweethearts, really. I mean, if you think about it. These boas are really nice. The Sterlings tend to have very good personalities. They get big, though. They're definitely bigger boas. They're not like on the dwarf side. They're full-sized. And probably my biggest boas in my collection are Sterlings, or at least the head Sterling sometimes. You know, that Sterling gene is a big-bodied snake. And if you look real closely, final snake of the day, you'll see my Dumeral boas. Look at them. They really like getting into the cocoa blocks here and hiding. You know, most boas just kind of sit on top of the cocoa blocks. They definitely dig in and camouflage themselves as much as they can, and just they enjoy it. You know, they definitely. You know, I guess this is a snake you definitely don't want to keep on paper towels because they definitely like to be in the substrate and mixed in. So we'll leave her alone, and we'll wrap up for today. This is a fun day feeding here at the facility. Pablo's getting everything caught up from being away, and that's always a fun day, because when the boas are eating, they're happy, and another month and they're going to be going into the full force breeding schedule. The temperatures will be dropped, the food will be restricted, and that'll be it. And we'll probably do a nice video on how to breed boas at that point, and start of another season. One more. for good luck, for good measure. She was looking so cool in this cocoa black sphere. This is a hypo blood leopard. So we got one copy of, or 2 copies of leopard gene, which is recessive. We got 2 copies of the blood gene, and then we have 1 copy of the hypo gene. The hypo gene, of course, is going to make this guy nice, this girl nice and light. Bring out those reds. If we had 2 copies of the hypo gene, we would see a really, really, really red snake here. So she was a very slow starter, slow grower. She's been putting on really nice size now. She's kind of in that bulletproof stage where she's eating rats now. So I suspect probably by next year, we might even get her up to breeding size. So I'm super excited. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today here at Palumbo's Pythons and Boas. Hope you enjoyed today's video. It's interesting to see sometimes when you look at like snakes like the Dumerals boas, and you can see how different they are than just regular boas. Like regular boas just will lay on top of the substrate, just chilling out, you know, waiting for food. Most of the time they're not on the hot spot. The Dumeral boas, they just get right into that substrate. They hide, that's what they do in nature. And it's just a naturalistic type of behavior for them. And to see them do it here is like kind of cool because you can, it's a very small nuance, but it's what differentiates them, you know, in the sense they're kind of ground boas, in the sense that they're ambush predators. And, you know, whereas a regular boa will, you know, if you look at my naturalistic setup I have for my 2 super fire diamond boas, they're climbing all the time. They're very rarely on the ground. You know, they like to climb and they like to do, you know, move around a lot. So just a different personality trait. And if you observe your snakes enough, and it's, you know, Eugene Bissett always said, you got to be a student of the serpent. And the more you observe them and the more you have them, even if you're not like studying books and stuff like that, you'll just see their nature and their behavioral patterns. And you'll notice things that they do that, you know, a beginner just wouldn't pick out. And so I think that's kind of cool. That's why I always say I'm always learning new stuff, whether it be in the bodybuilding industry, fitness, supplements, or snakes. It's all the same. Just keep learning, keep observing, and you're just going to be better and better at what you do. On those words of wisdom, guys, show us the love. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. Hit that like button. I'll see you back tomorrow morning.